Let's get the Bucks out of the way.
Good.
We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on tap here. It sounds ugly, and I get it's a bad acronym for them, but that's just kind of, they're going to be ugly all year. They're going to overachieve and flex when they beat bad teams. Like, yeah, we are the Super Bowl champs. You're going to have offensive linemen step up and say, I'm going to replace the leadership of Tom Brady. And then people will be like, you're not Tom Brady. And then you also have that Todd Bowles is, well, Hugh Jackson does too, but they both have a losing record as a head coach in the NFL. I get Hugh Jackson had that 1 year where he had Fitzpatrick and the Jets almost into the playoffs, but outside of that, Jets were perpetually bad, and it's not like you didn't have Matt Forte, Brandon Marshall, and Eric Decker on that team. Pretty solid trio. So, and then you have Baker Mayfield. What is he? He seems like a guy who can morph into a Fitzpatrick, where he's kind of iconic with these ads and he'll come and go and have these really big games. And then the next, like in LA with the Rams, he like stepped on the field, has the best game ever. And then all of a sudden, oh, right, Baker's trashed again. I will say, though, Mike Evans is probably the best receiver in the NFL that Baker's played with. I don't think it's even close.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But let's get into it.
So without further ado, we start on Week 1 at 1 o'clock on the road against the Vikings.
On the road, what time?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. You can't bet against 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins. If there's one thing that's true, it's death, taxes, and 1 o'clock Kirk is real. It's real.
And then Week 2, they face off against 1 o'clock Justin Fields.
1 o'clock Justin Fields. Yeah, Justin Fields is going to be on a mission this year. He has one of the better tight ends in the league in Cole Kmet, and then he has a self-proclaimed third best wide receiver in the NFL in Chase Claypool. And then, you know, Chris Collinsworth loves Darnell Mooney for some reason.
Yeah. And honestly, they go through a pretty tough stretch of games going on. So they start at home against the Eagles on Monday Night Football, 7:15 in Week 3.
Yeah, this is when the Baker clock really starts to kick in, where he has 3 bad losses, gets demolished by a really good team, and then he needs a pretty bad team that he can flex on after this game. But the Eagles, yeah, it's going to be a wipeout on the road, at home, wherever.
And then Sunday, they go on the road against the Saints.
They go on the road against the Saints. I believe you had the Saints winning that game. Did 2 other previews where you previewed the Saints and the Falcons. And then just for continuity's sake, I will keep that as a Saints win.
So the Bucs are grasping at straws here, 0-4. Hopefully trying to turn things around, but they do not get a break here. They go and host the Lions at 1 o'clock, Week 5.
Sorry, the Lions are dropping 50 on you. And this is going to be a showboating Lions team, too. This isn't going to be a team that Dan Campbell kind of lets quit and pack it in. No, we are scoring, and we're making sure those close one-possession games don't happen this year, because the Lions are just coming to blow people out.
And they have a bye in Week 6.
In Week 6? That's a terrible time for a bye. You're 0-6 going into your bye? What are you doing with your life? Where is Baker Mayfield? Is he traded yet? Is this when, okay, coming out of the bye, this is when Kyle Trask starts. It's officially time for the Trask
and
to
then
start.
So first game with Kyle Trask taking on a division foe in the Falcons. And we did have the Falcons in the preview winning this game, but you decide if that makes sense or not.
Yeah, Kyle Trask losing his first start. Wow. Yeah.
Riveting.
So
now they're 0-6. They're on pace with the Cardinals to have the worst record. And then they definitely don't catch any breaks here, because the very next week on Thursday Night Football, they go to Buffalo, October 26th, taking on Buffalo.
They go to Buffalo? Yeah, no, I can't. I'm like, this could be like one of those like Jaguars versus Bills game where it's a 9-3 and the Bills like disappear. But I think Josh Allen just wants an easy win on Thursday Night Football, and he'll put it away.
And then schedule starts to get slightly easier. They do go to Houston to take on the Texans.
Yeah, no. Dameon Pierce is enough.
Damn. Now they halfway through the season, still searching for that first win.
And it's not like they should be any of these teams either. If you're in the comments like, why haven't you picked them to win yet? Like, who? Who are they beating?
Because, okay, let's go back here, because you have the Vikings, who were a playoff team last year.
Yeah.
The Bears, who we had as 12-5 in our preview. The Eagles, who are the defending NFC champions.
Yeah.
The Saints, who have a hell of a lot better roster. The Lions, who should be ascending next year. You have the Falcons, who have a better roster. You have the Bills, who have a better roster. And now the Texans, maybe they win against the Texans. Who knows? But
in Houston, though. It's not at home.
But this is in Houston. Yeah. And CJ Stroud or Baker Mayfield. We'll see what we see there.
I'll go with the guy who can at least run. Baker thinks he can run, but he can't.
And then they host the Tennessee Titans in Week 10.
They host the Titans. I'll give them a break there. I think this is a Titans team on the road. You can kind of let one go there. Maybe after Kyle Trask starts, they're like, maybe we shouldn't have done that. It's time for Baker to come back. And Baker's like, yeah, guys, I know I started 0-6, but look, I beat the Titans without Derrick Henry on the team at this point, probably. So it's like, look at me now. It's like, okay, chill out, bud.
But then, despite getting their first win, trying to string some together, they have to go to San Francisco and take on the Brock Purdy-led 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, George Kittle is enough. So George Kittle is enough.
Now, as they go into Week 12, trying to prevent having double-digit losses, as their franchise is used to, they have to go to Indy to take on Anthony Richardson and the Colts.
No. I think Gardner Minshew would beat the Bucs because Gardner Minshew is a slightly less talented Baker with none of Baker's issues, and he just goes out there and plays really hard each week. And something Baker does that Gardner Minshew doesn't. Gardner Minshew really doesn't turn the ball over that much.
No. So then Week 13, the season's already over. Low expectations. They host the Carolina Panthers.
They host the Panthers? Yeah, no. What week is this?
This is Week 13.
Let Bryce cook. Let him cook.
So they are now 1-11. Hideous season. And they have to go to Atlanta to take on the Falcons in Week 14.
In Week 14, you had the Falcons winning this game. So for continuity's sake, again, go out and check out our Falcons preview video and the Saints one. You'll get all that content, and we're doing the Panthers after this.
So now 4 games left. Their season's over, but they have to go to Green Bay in December and take on Jordan Love.
Oh, hell no. In December, a Florida team? The only person who could do that was Tom Brady and Mike Evans. Those were the only guys built for it. And it was when they had an elite defense. But yeah, no, I think the Packers will have their games and their moments. And Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon is enough.
And I'm telling you, it doesn't get easier here because now they host the Jaguars on Christmas Eve.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, pretty passive guy, but he's going to come out there and stuff your stockings with coal, and he's going to take your presents too.
And now Week 17, Saints fighting for a division. They go to Tampa Bay. So they host the Saints.
They host the Saints. Yeah, the Saints need it. The Saints need that game, and they're going to go out there and win.
So 1-15, and then they end the season with the Panthers in Carolina.
Yeah, no shot. No shot.
So we got them going 1-16. Woof. I thought the Giants' record was bad.
You're just you won that one game versus Tennessee you shouldn't have won. You were right there. You probably need Caleb Williams more than the Cardinals because Kyler Murray is somewhat of a quarterback. But yeah, you're going to be out there with one of the top guys, but you're still not worse than Arizona. Arizona is still the worst team in the NFL, and Todd Bowles probably need to take a long look and see what's going on with him. Bruce Arians being in the front office as a football mind and personality, probably going to have a deep conversation about that. And then Baker Mayfield being your plan this year, or is your plan just to tank for Caleb Williams? But you'll be in the running for sure.
Absolutely.